Hi everybody and welcome to Coloring Countdown to Christmas. Today I'm working with markers again, using Tombows and Spectrum Noirs and Copics and using bleeding in the right spaces as an advantage and keeping the bleeding at bay in others. So I'm keeping it at bay by using the Tombows for the fine line work on the chimney, for example, or for coloring the background and not getting rid of the details of, for example, the toys or also Santa there or the snow, the fur on his coat and stuff like that. So I really want to control the ink there, so Tombows are my friend. Same goes for the sentiment there, which I'm coloring with red. I want to have this very traditionally colored page, so I'm using the same red tones that I'm going to use with Santa. And I want this to be a very bold page, so I'm working with more color blocks, so to say. Meaning, for example, the black solid background. I'm gonna use gray for the chimney and also the same grays, and I'm having an acrylic sheet behind my coloring page here to prevent the ink from bleeding to the next coloring page, just saying. But back to the bleeding and the colors, I'm going to use the cold grays here on the chimneys, and I don't mind if it bleeds a bit into the snow, I can handle that. I'm also using very dark grays for the shadowed part of the chimney, going to use the same color for the mittens and the belt of Santa. And like that, I just work my way around the coloring page and seeing, okay, what do I want? What do I need? So I did let it dry for a bit to have the alcohol marker dry, because I don't want them to bleed into what I'm gonna color now. That's those sections that are also alcohol markers, and I would have a color mess if I wouldn't have let it dry in between. So Copics for the bag, in the bag, they can bleed into the black Tombow marker, I don't care, but I don't want them to bleed onto the coat, so I'm using Tombows for the red Santa coat. It's the exact same marker that I also used, like I said, for the sentiment. Giving it a minute to dry and then coloring the gifts in the bag with Tombows, with Copics again. Same goes for the face. I'm having parts where I allow bleeding, and then I'm having parts that I really want to control the ink, and I use Tombows over the alcohol markers for that, because on this paper they really bleed like crazy. So I'm just, having a lot of red, a lot of gray. I'm having a smoke there, sorry about that, but this is, how I roll. Once the ink is dry, I'm going in with the polychromos and defining things, shading things, and just bringing the whole piece together and having it look less quote-unquote blocky. So with the gray and the black and the red, I worked in big color blocks, but I want them to be shaded and have a tiny bit of separation going on, so I'm shading things sometimes rather heavily, sometimes very subtle, like subtle on the fur, more heavy on the bag and on the coat of Santa and in the beard there. I want to have more contrast there. And then I'm just working with a tiny bit of paint thinner, especially in the snow parts, and I'm just blending that out so it's very smooth and it looks like, shaded snow. Also doing the same thing for the fur, because it just makes things look a bit more rounded, you know, it's not as grainy, it looks more finished. And then I'm just adding a tiny bit of detail, a bit of gold on the buckle for Santa, a few white dots and details, and then I'm done. I hope you enjoyed watching along. I will see you tomorrow with the last coloring countdown to Christmas for this week. And I hope you enjoyed and got some time to create something today. Bye bye!